All right, kids, it's time for part 3. Haha. I forgot. I forgot. I should because Nappa wore this a lot. So, hold on. Let me see if I can get a reading on this whole episode. All right then. So, okay, I'm not gonna wear this the whole time, but I figured I forgot to wear it again. Going back to the Dragon Ball What Ifs. Last time on the Dragon Ball Z What If, we left with the end of with the beginning of the Android arc, pretty much. Basically, where the androids actually show up. Goku had been training, Nappa had been training, everyone had been training the best they can, and the day has arrived. Bulma sends her best. Tights wishes Nappa very good luck. It's like, just you be careful, okay, you big lug. Like, don't worry, babe. There's nothing that can hurt me. I'm foolproof. It's like, and she looks at Goku. Yeah, be sure he doesn't die. Blade's like, oh, well, do. It's like, oh, that's cruel, Tights. She just gives a kiss on the cheek. Mwah, now, good luck, and just don't die. It's like, and so they go through the motions of the android, or Jiro and 19 showed up. And that's pretty much beat for beat how that goes down up until we get to the actual legit fight. They go looking for the androids. Yamcha finds the androids. Yamcha gets Yamcha. They quickly get a step in. Then they take the fight somewhere else. They know that Goku seems a little tired, but don't see anything beyond the normal, including Nappa. Like, he's not really registering anything beyond the usual with Goku. He does seem a little winded. And so Goku powers up the Super Saiyan, and the fight between Goku and 19 begins. Goku, having had extra training partners, stronger training partners, is stronger here than he is in the original. But because of the heart virus, he is losing strength and losing it quickly. So they duke it out for a little bit. Ultimately, it's sort of irrelevant to a degree because even though I think Goku would ultimately get the win here, it's kind of irrelevant because Goku still succumbs to the effects of the heart virus and is put out of commission. The reason I always say that if Goku is even a little bit stronger, he's going to get the win is that Goku was dominating that fight the majority of the time. The only reason even Goku lost that fight is because Yamcha, in his ultimate wisdom, forgot to mention that the androids can absorb energy through their hands. And so if he had not done the Kamehameha, he would have won that fight. Even with him using the Kamehameha, Goku, I think, has enough of a gap here that he can still win against 19. Although it's the hard-fought victory. He's able to just eventually just kind of do what he does against Metal Cooler and slight charge to slice it in half, where he drops, clutching his chest. Vegeta ultimately shows up, shows off Super Saiyan. Jiro's like, oh, screw this. And everyone's after Jiro. But Yamcha gets him back to his place. Jiro ultimately is able to awaken 18 and 17, who then awaken 16 and kill Jiro, and who proceed to completely wipe the floor with our heroes. 18, we know, decimates Vegeta. Nappa does show up, though, that he has acquired a new technique with Akari. One of the things he's worked on in the training is the controlling of his Ozaru form. Goku, meanwhile, does have this, but it's not... it can also go Ozaru, but he's not, like I said, really well trained in it. It'd be a last-ditch effort kind of move for Goku. And so while Nappa has Akari, it's nowhere near the strength of Super Saiyan. Although because Nappa got the chance to train with Goku all those years, unlike Vegeta, who was really just soloing it, he might, mind you, have a slightly higher base now than Vegeta does. That's debatable, but because he's got strong training partners with Piccolo and Goku, who could also access Super Saiyan, and him also training with Akari, that would make sense. Goku also would be stronger here as well. Not to really be doing much here, but he'd be stronger. And so even though he's got Akari, comes in just maybe even takes one of them 17 or 18 by surprise by coming in, and maybe actually Nappa, through training with Goku, is a little strategic. Comes in, just initially starts throwing a couple punches. So he's like, please, is that all you? Boom, boom, just suddenly transforms and smacks him right in the face. like a quick transformation to just soup everything up, and 17 isn't prepared for it, or 18 isn't prepared for it. Now, granted, he didn't go flat down afterward, just like the rest of them, but still, he must have a fight. Nappa's role for a giant chunk of this arc now is not a role, is a role of spectator, really. The only thing that he can actually do is go and try to help Piccolo and Tien. Like, he goes out of his way to find out and try to help them. Keep in mind, Goku does not have the instant transmission here. So he cannot just pop down and save Tien and Piccolo. So Nappa is like, I'll do my best. And he actually looks at Mr. Popo, the magic carpet. Because Popo does have a teleporting carpet. So he's like, well, can we use that? Oh, well, I suppose it's possible. And so uses the flying carpet, goes and helps out as best he can. Ultimately, though, it's fruitless, as they have to use the flying carpet to get the hell out of here before he's able to kill anyone. And then Trunks and Vegeta come out of the hyperbolic time chamber. Goku and Gohan go in. And there you go. Now the big changes here don't happen really until Perfect Cell is created and Goku and Gohan get out of the hyperbolic time chamber. This is the first big change. We know Piccolo went in there, and he opted to get out before time was up by a long margin. I think he only made like a couple months. But that's because he just couldn't handle the psychological strain that it had. But here, he's got a training partner. He's got Nappa, who is legitimately strong enough to give him legitimately good training. And so they agree to go in together. They both want to take a shot in the hyperbolic time chamber. And they're able to make it the full day anyway. But what happens in the time chamber there? Well, Piccolo and Nappa's strength grow exponentially. Piccolo, I'd say, is probably akin to semi-perfect cell at that point. Nappa, through a lot of training, finally is able to unlock Super Saiyan, although his is not a perfected version like Goku's or Gohan's. He does not have the grade 2 or 3 versions of Super Saiyan. Well, actually, technically, definitely not grade 3, and not grade 2. He's just got Super Saiyan. And he realizes he has, to a better degree than Goku would have right now, learned to harness the power of Super Saiyan and Akari together. Let me rephrase that. Not Akari, because Akari is a more finite controlled version of Ozaru. I think what Nappa has is right now the Ozaru Super Saiyan form. And luckily he's got enough control over it, as he did in the original, or as he did over his original form, that he can at least discern enemy from foe. Keep in mind, Goku also has his tail right now. So this is something Goku could theoretically do. However, as it stands, there's no Dragon Balls. And I don't know why I'm saying there's no Dragon Balls. That's not true. I know why I'm saying it. I'm kind of skipping ahead right now to a problem that is available. That needs to be addressed. But right now, Goku was focusing more on the Super Saiyan training. Not to say he won't focus a bit more on his tail later down the road, but he was just focusing on the Super Saiyan training. They get out there. Goku's very impressive. Even Vegeta's, well, at least you're good for something again. Oh, you want to go? You want to go, shorty? Oh, you talking big talk ever since you've been. You want to go? All right, save for sell it, you idiots. And so they have their 9 days off. Now, in this time, remember, this is when Dende became the guardian of the Earth. There is a significant problem here. Without the instant transmission, getting a Namekian here is more difficult. That said, it's not impossible. King Kai is able to communicate with them. So I suppose it's feasible that they could basically use Purunga to send a Namekian here. You could still get a Namekian to the planet. It would just take a lot more steps to do instead of going back and forth. Boop, bop. So, yeah, I would say that that they could still get Dende to come over and be a new Guardian Earth. So I think that's all feasible. They spend their training. Everyone's spending their time with who they need to spend their time. And Tights and honestly, this could be where Tights and Nappa conceive their child. Spending we might die. It's like, oh, but Nappa, we could die. I know. How would you like to spend our last few days? And they cut to a bird saying, I'm a fire in my ball. Racer cannon. Got a good fire. Scatter. All the not even basic in you on all the flat out reference. Meanwhile, Bulma's just like, because they're like right next door. That'd be great. Even Vegeta's like, God, it's like, oh, I'm not going to be upset with him. Woman, come here. I can actually see that too. At least if we're going by an abridged series, I could totally see Vegeta competing with Nappa. Sex off. It's like, well, wait, no, we're like, is this weird or hot? I don't know. I just completely made that up right there. But, I mean, is Vegeta, his pride would not allow Nappa to get the better of him in any sense. Anywho, although, to be fair, like I said, Nappa is living in his own little place near Goku's house. But maybe he went to visit Tights one night and they got intimate. Who knows? Anyway, I digress. The Cell games come, and honestly, they're the first 2/3 of it, in fact, the majority of it, does go pretty much the same. Goku is stronger here than he is in the original. That is very much true. We still don't know exactly where Goku stacked compared to Perfect Cell. He was very strong, and theoretically, he would have straight out killed him with that Kamehameha had he gotten maybe like a better shot in on him. Like if he had, honestly, if Cell had been in the air and Goku would just come up from below, probably would have killed Cell. But regardless, here from the way it's depicted, my guess is Cell still had the edge. Even Korin said you don't stand a shot or whatever. It's depicted. It's implied that Cell definitely had the edge, and by all accounts, he did. I'm gonna guess Cell was maybe like on a scale of 1 to 10 kind of thing. Cell was a 10. Goku was like a 7.5. He was like 75% of Perfect Cell. That's my guess. Here, Goku's more like closer to 85. So he closes the gap a bit. But still not enough to truly beat Cell. He probably even blows away more of his body in that attack, but still just not enough to beat him. So Goku passes off to Gohan, and everyone, including Nappa, is like, wait, what are you doing, Goku? Or Kakarot. I mean, he's like, oh, don't worry, guys. It's going to be fine. Gohan, you're so much stronger than you. Let's see what Cell thinks. I want you to know, Goku, that while I'm pounding your son, I'm going to be thinking about you the entire time. And so their fight goes down. It goes down pretty much as is. Cell Jr.'s come, start beating the hell out of 116. Still is ultimately saved and helps out here. And ultimately gives his life. Gohan snaps, goes ham on the Cell Juniors and starts whipping Cell around until he coughs up 17. And ultimately Cell decides to go for the combat move of destroying himself. Well, thanks for coming out, everyone. This was Silgus. Thanks for coming out. Go fuck yourself. Now, in the original, obviously, Goku makes the sacrifice to instant transmission to King Kai's planet, but that can't happen here. Goku's like just trying to think. It's like, damn it, is there anything we can do? You can't bear about 30 seconds. And, Nappa's looking, and he's looking at these people he's come to call legit friends. You remember spending time with Piccolo, actually getting along with Piccolo, actually getting last Tien, Krillin, all that. Like, they barely did like a bald, cosplay one year or something like that for like, ha, the Ball Brothers, and they're all having a laugh. He remembers spending time with the Sun family. He thinks about Tights, and he just steals himself and just like, go Kakarot, everyone. And you did more for me than I could ever ask for. I just want to say it was good to be your friend. Wait, what are you doing? And he just suddenly transforms into the Super Saiyan, just It's like 3, 4, 10, 9. It's only he throws the moon out because he can do Akari. The Akari form, again, like I said, you can't really do the Akari. It's more concentrated. It's more controlled. It's basically Uzara without the Uzara form. And he also knows he needs the size for what he's about to do here. So to force the Uzaro transformation, he immediately activates it. What's that? He goes into Golden Uzaro, just kind of contains Cell, lifts him up, just holds him together. It's like, and he just thinks what primal self, what civilized version of him is still in there. It's like, goodbye, my friends. And then, boom! And literally just an earth-shaking explosion that, because his power just jumped like 10 times that of what he was at. Where, by the way, where did I put Nappa's power level? Ooh, that's a good question. He's probably comparable to Piccolo, but not quite as strong. If Piccolo is semi-perfect cell, hypothetically, semi-perfect cell is around, I think, it's never said, but I think it's considered he's like around 1 billion or something like that. At least that's the way I depicted it. And Piccolo's around there, Nappa's maybe a bit lower, and Cell's power level is generally depicted at its max around 4 billion. Well, at least when he comes back as Super Cell. 3 billion when he's standard perfect cell power level. That would mean that Nappa's power level, roughly speaking, even if I lowball it to more like 900 million or whatever, and again, I'm throwing arbitrary numbers at this point, he's well more, he's like 3 times stronger than Cell, but he's containing a planet-wide blast all against, basically jumping on the grenade for everyone. Just, and everyone's like, and everyone looks, and even Vegeta's like, that idiot! Like he saw just what he did, just how strong he got, and never got a chance to prove that he was stronger. They just see the Ozara shrinking, and basically just the hollowed out Nappa's hollowed out body. Like he's not blown, he doesn't have a giant hole in him, but like it's just a cavern, like there's no organs, nothing. And Nappa's just standing there, and he just returns and just standing, and just like the dead eyes, he's dead. It's like Nappa! And Gohan, who had grown to like Nappa despite their initial confrontation, he'd grown to be a decent guy. I was like, Nappa, you. And just dead. And it's like, I was like, we gotta get the Dragon Balls. It's like, and Vegeta, meanwhile, is just looking at him, and despite his anger, it's like, he died as he lived. A true Saiyan. And Vegeta actually showing respect to Nappa for literally doing something like that. Now, luckily, they do have the Dragon Balls there, so they're able to bring Nappa back. He just, oh god, there was blackness, and then this red guy, and he wanted me to take off my clothes. Like, oh yeah, that's Kinyama. He does that for some reason. Yeah, seriously, what the hell was that about? So, strip. Nice. Raccoon thanks you. So, Nappa is brought back, and Tights hears of it. You died! I told you not to die already! I told you not to. I'm sorry, honey. I had to. It was the only thing I could do at the time. And we got the Dragon Balls. I'm back. It's like, you died! It's like, ah. And everyone kind of has a laugh and all that. And the day is saved. Trunks goes back, saves his timeline, and last but not least, let's talk a little bit about the 7 years. So, Piccolo is on the lookout, we know that much. Krillin goes, marries 18 after a couple years, is no longer really fighting. Although he didn't really get that much weaker from what we could tell. Yamcha and Tien still trains, but Yamcha's a baseball player now. So really, what's going on with the Son family, the Tights family, and the Briefs family? Well, Trunks is born, obviously. And honestly, to joke around, Brock could have been born a year later, thanks to the little squaring off they had to say, oh, I'm not listening to you, Nappa! And then you have Tights and Nappa's child, who I didn't even consider thinking of a name for at this point, but I don't know, do we want to... Let's see, because you have Bra, Bulma, which is Briefs, Tights, and Trunks. Would they decide to go with a Saiyan name, or would they go with an undergarments thing? Thongs? No. Loins? Actually, loins works. That's not bad. Or corset. Oh, actually, that one's not bad. Corset's nice. And let's say they have a daughter named Corset. I like Corset. That's not a bad name. Even as it actually does, I mean, it is still a garment, but that does sound like an actual name. I can't think of anyone who would actually be named bra, trunks, or tights. But corset, like a corset, see, the way I'm saying it, I feel like I'm saying it a little more like a name than it's a corset. But it's a corset, like you're emphasizing the set part of it. That sounds like a name to me, and a decent one at that, actually. I'm surprised. It's the only one that sounds like it could be an actual name. So yeah, and they're having it. And corset is, I believe, it would be around Goten's age, actually. Because they would have been conceived, roughly speaking, at the same time. Same with bra. And bra would be, so you'd have Super Saiyan Trunks, Super Saiyan Bra, Super Saiyan Goten, and almost certainly Super Saiyan Corset. Little baby Super Saiyans everywhere. Which means, I didn't consider this, but I also have to write out the next part later on. We can get a double fusion dance of Goten's, Trunks and Goten, but Bra and Corset. That's an option. We'll see what happens there. And then, hypothetically, can you do a fusion Platora? I mean, the games, I believe, allow you to do this, but I don't know if you could do it in lore. Could two Metamorian fusions Metamorian fuse together as well? I don't think there's anything that could really prevent that, so much as long as they can balance their powers. I think the only issue is you'll be seriously running the time down then. Because my guess is there's so much energy between those 4 technical bodies there being used that hypothetically you're supposed to only have a half hour. But a Super Saiyan transformation could speed that up way faster. Like Super Saiyan 3 sped it up to like only 5 minutes. But I'm only guessing here, if you had 2 Metamorian fusions fused together into another Metamorian fusion, the overall time length is probably actually cut in half. That is my guess. I could be dead wrong on that. So let me know what your theories are on that. But moving on, Gohan would probably not have gotten any weaker, at least. Gohan would probably have at least stayed the same level of power. Maybe even gotten a little stronger because Goku is there to train. Speaking of which, because Goku is there, him, Nappa, and Vegeta have regular training, sparring, and matches. This allows Vegeta to get a little bit more of the catharsis he needed, and really because he was so angry at Goku for dying because he never got a shot at him again, or another chance at him. But there is a catch because Nappa did surpass Vegeta, and he can't let that stand. Now, fortunately, this means they can all train for so many years. Vegeta demands that his tail be brought back as well, so they use Dragon Balls to bring his tail back. They continue training. Eventually, Super Saiyan 2, I think, is accessed by all of them after Nappa trains to perfect Super Saiyan. And then learning to match Kari level power with that is used as well. And they can feel that it is actually leading to something else. Guess what it is? I do enjoy using the form when I can find a logical way to include it. But they just haven't been able to pinpoint what exactly that something else is yet. So right now they all have basically an Akari Super Saiyan 2. And if they need to, they can push it to Akari Super Saiyan 2. But I liken that to kind of use on like Super Saiyan 3. It is severely taxing on their bodies. Like if they don't, so they can only use it for like a couple minutes at a time for going out of the form. Because that is far stronger than Super Saiyan 4, using Akari on top of that. Because that would be, because Super Saiyan 4 is 4 times that of 2. This would be 10 times. This is 2.5 times Super Saiyan 3. So yeah, and then, and then beyond that, so hold on, what would the multiplier be? I think that's like 1,000? Yeah, it's just 1,000 times. It's a quarter of Super Saiyan 4's alleged multiplier, which is the one I use. So yeah, and Goten would be stronger because he gets to train with his dad. Trunks and Bra and Corset would all be stronger too. So we would pretty much leave this off now with the tournament. Now, because everyone's alive, the tournaments keep going on. They probably don't normally participate, but for some reason they just feel, come on guys, let's actually do this. And then plus, Chi-Chi's like, we need the prize money. So there's that. Should also note that Hercule's still technically the savior of the world here. No one knows what happens. So there you go. That would still actually be very much a thing. Gokugong would still very much court Videl. He'd be the great Saiyaman. And we'll leave it with Babidi or Yamu and Spopovich stealing Gohan's energy. Yeah, I should note, I don't think Gohan has Akari. And the reason for this is, I mean, technically speaking, he should be able to access it, but we know that he would more likely be leaning towards Beast Mode. Although, once again, the requirements for Beast Mode are still not known. We know Gohan's the only one who has it. We know that he had to be in his ultimate form minimum to access it because he transformed beyond his ultimate form. So it's likely that the old Kai's potential unlocking is a factor in this. Add on the fact that Gohan is a hybrid Saiyan, this may be playing a factor as well. So my best guess here is it's a combination of hybrid physiology and potential plus the old Kai's potential unlocking ability. Anyway, I digress. So we'll leave off with them going to go get Boo, Spike Boo, all that good stuff. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you folks next time. And remember, kids, you like violence? Well, yeah, I'm your main man. and I majored in child psychology with a minor in pain. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later.